20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne. Chapter 3. The Nautilus. Captain Nemo invited me to eat with him. I soon realized that it was because I was the only scientist among us and he wanted to talk about the Nautilus. I accepted his invitation eagerly. I love the sea, he told me. On the surface, men are still killing one another. But down here in the Nautilus, I am free to live as I wish. His ship was magnificent. The library contained 12,000 books and many fine paintings. He had a wonderful collection of sea creatures and shells, all classified. The best collection of pearls I had ever seen. "Tell me more about the Nautilus," I said when we sat down in his cabin to talk. "How do you manage to make so much electricity?" "My electricity is not the one you use on land," he replied. "I extract the sodium from the seawater and use them in my batteries. I owe everything to the sea. It produces electricity to give us heat, light, and movement." "What about air?" I asked. "You can't make that." "I can float to the surface whenever I choose," he replied, "and I store extra air in huge tanks." "Captain Nemo," I said, "I've already seen your speed and skill in outrunning our ship. How do you steer the Nautilus? And how can you go so far below the water without breaking up?" "It has two hulls," he explained. "The one is inside the other. To go below the sea, I fill her tanks with water so that we sink. To rise, they are emptied. As for steering, that is simple. The Nautilus has fins like a fish, and the steering platform has a panel made of special glass that does not break under water. As you have already seen, there is a powerful beam that can light up the water for half a mile." "So, how did you collide with the Abraham Lincoln?" I asked. "I did not," he replied. "It was attacking me, and I had to defend myself. I damaged her steering so that she could not turn back to attack me again." Captain Nemo reached out and pressed an electric bell 3 times. "Now the tanks will empty," he said. "We are going to rise to the surface. I will have to take our bearings from the position of the sun before we leave." A few minutes later, he led me up a staircase, through an open hatch, and out onto a platform which rose about 3 feet above the sea. I looked around me in amazement. In the middle of the platform was a dinghy, inside its own compartment, and at either end were 2 cages, partly made of glass. One was for the steersman, the other held a powerful electric searchlight. The ship was shaped like a cigar, and its iron plates overlapped to make it strong. The sea was very beautiful, and the sky was clear. There was nothing in sight, not even an island. There was nothing but a vast and deserted sea. When Captain Nemo had taken our bearings, we went down below once more into the salon. "Today is the 8th of November," he said, "and it is midday. Now we shall begin our voyage of exploration under the sea." He handed me a set of sea charts. "You may follow my route, Professor Aronnax, if you wish." Captain Nemo bowed and left me to my thoughts. I stayed alone for an hour examining the charts until Ned and Conseil came to find me. "Where are we?" they asked. "More than 160 feet below the sea," I told them. "If Monsieur says so, then it must be true," Conseil said. Ned started to question me, and I told him everything I knew. "The Nautilus is an amazing piece of engineering," I said. I stared hard at him. "You must give up any hope of escaping." As I spoke, the lights went out. "We are all going to die," Ned cried. End of chapter 3.